What are idols? Well, in Old Testament times, it was common for people to worship inanimate objects as their gods. That may seem kind of odd to us. None of us worship anything made out of wood. None of us necessarily would worship a statue or something like that. But yet that's what they did. And there are still people around the world today who do that. But the New Testament standard of idol worship is a little different. We don't have time to go through all of those details this morning, but what is consistent and understood in the New Testament is that anything that takes God's place or is equal to God's place in our life becomes an idol. That's a problem. And if we understand that in that context, we might change a little bit our understanding of what we would think of idols. I don't think there's anybody here in this auditorium who worships a statue. But we probably, if we're honest, all struggle with things in our lives that either take God's place or come really, really close to being equal with that. That can be a very, very deep problem. The very first commandment, God says He didn't want us to have any other gods besides Him. You say, well, I don't worship any gods. Well, is there something in your life that is more important than your relationship with God? Or is there something in your life that is equal to that? Or is there something that's coming up to that? If there's something that's coming up to that, guess what? You're getting close. If there's something equal, then that's what Jacob's children were doing. They were allowing things in their lives to be more important than the relationship with God. The most important person on this planet, to me, that lives on this planet breathing, is my wife. This summer we'll be married 17 years. Long, long time. But she's not my number one priority. She's my number one human priority. But my relationship with God comes before my relationship with my wife. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that I put my wife aside or anything like that. No, I don't do that. In fact, God is honored and glorified by the fact that I do love and honor and show respect to my wife. And of course, she does all that way back to me. But even if she weren't, my job is still to honor and respect her. But my relationship with God is still more important than she is. In today's culture, unfortunately, most people, that isn't the problem, is that they don't love their spouse too much. They love their spouses too little. But often people will put things as more important priority in their life than the relationship with God. Sometimes people will put other people, maybe their children. Sometimes people will put things that they have, things that they do, activities, or even things. For some, it could be sports. For some, it could be an activity such as even cooking. I've seen also anything that is more of our passion than our relationship with the Lord. There's nothing wrong with having passionate activities. There should be things that you enjoy to do, and there is nothing wrong with that because God has given them to you. But your relationship with God should still be your striving passion. And Jacob here tells them, put away those idols. Remove those idols. And then they went on their journey. And God protected them on their journey. That's really what this phrase, it might seem kind of shocking at first, what in the world was Moses trying to write here. But that when they journeyed, the terror of God was upon the cities that were around them. God was protecting them. Everyone knew that there was something special about Jacob and his family, so God was supernaturally protecting them. But God was reminding them of their spiritual commitment. But on the journey, something happened that is important. That's our second point, is that God's people must endure death.